Nagabenta ki khubor ba man kasni pet but subscribe ya u antor. Kublai pi baro kini kilong ki khubor bam ta kasni. Kador bar ya tai jung kamang tingkah yung darbar thau an ke jila halor ka nong ba talang jung ka jila Meghalaya. Kabalong hatura ya kabalawan ra do Dr. Mukul Sangma nong yalam kaliang persya AITC laweng no hadin ba umentri rang ba ka jila u Konrad Sangma ula menjur ya ka jung ai jung mut ban pelong ya ka all party committee ban examine ya kani ka kam. Kati ka jing dawa ban pelong nong ba telang ka resolution ban don ya ka nong ba telang hatura West Garo Hills kala longkum ka khana Muhammed Tughlaq ba ukwa pynkynriah ya ka nong ba Delhi sha dolatabad hadekan hagisnem shia jalais pa saupong. Dr. Mukul ubara ya ka resolution ula ong ba kati ka jing dawa ka de ka jing angnut ka blas lembha jing ki pait ba ka Garo Hills. Ula penken mauru ya ka jing dorbar halor ka jingkem ya ki nong yaki hatura hapo ketekaan kabala pendon kam persya iki leno. Ha kejing ya tai bun ki MLE kaliang sunshar kim kyrshan namar ya kate kamat wat lada day kejing kwa jengkipat garu namar kadai ke isu bakran daki MLE liang persya. Kum tawat ke sorkar kam kyrshan lasu kulan jubab ha kaba menteri rangba usngongu ya ke mensium jengkarai nrei namar kidau bestan kum balawan ra da kaliang persya omla ban menjur ya karai. Ki beshim bentaban kyrshan bat persya ikanik resolution ki kentup u deputy speaker u Timothy Shira u Jim M Marang u Celestine Lingdo u Renington Lingdo u Rupa Marang u Branning Sangma u Limison Sangma bat u Subar Marang u menteri rangba ula penken mau ki pulit ki belak hanglat yu benya kendu ya ki kenhun jing ya ki atura ki badawa ya kenongba jengka pol yur haki por belalit nyo.
Yes, sir. I must at the very outset place on record my deep sense of appreciation for the elaborate and comprehensive reply, and which itself is indicative of the spirit which is in sync with the spirit of this resolution. Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir, you have enlightened us very elaborately. In fact, I could see that you were becoming emotional at the time of your submission, because these issues revolves around the aspirations of people, of our dear people. And as I've said, there are reasons for us to be emotive sometimes, because we know where we stand. Before I make my this stand known, I only want to make a submission on one particular submission made by one of the members from Rongjeng, my neighbor, that why you did not do you during your time. You see, government, the repository of state power is upon all of us, including the government employees. And with this comes the responsibility of carrying forward to fulfill our call of duty based on the time. There is time when we need to keep quiet, there is a time when we need to speak. And let it be very clear, abundantly clear, that the collective voice of the people demanding this has not been so loud and clear during my time. Let us be abundantly clear. Yes. Was there a representation given to the government at that point of time? No. Yes. So therefore, the aspirations and hopes based on which the overall desire of the people will evolve. It's a process of evolution, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. Anyway, he has chosen his way of putting his words, but I don't think it's in a good spirit. And please do not tend to blame or somehow articulate the things in such a way that one would like to pass on the blame. That is politics. I have during my submission, I have said that let us not play politics with these sensitive issues. That's why, see, we belong to different political parties, different spectrum. And therefore, we need to really do very careful tightrope walking. The way I have scripted the resolution itself, the Honorable Chief Minister has read himself. I have thought as to how to script it in a manner that in spirit we all can agree. And I'm successful in that because we have put all our efforts, successive governments. Yes, I'm happy that I could start at Governor House. Yes. Governor, His Excellency Musa Hari was very pleased to lay the foundation stone during our time. And there's a lot of story about that Governor House. The land was indicated for Governor's House to construct a Raj Bhavan, to the addition of Raj Bhavan. It took long time. In fact, I'm tempted to only say that how closely I'm personally involved in this. I had to request my wife to pay money for the land owners because the delay in acquiring that land ultimately was forcing the land owners to sell the land for others. I had to intervene. I had to request. I had to pay the money in advance so that they pay back my wife after the acquisition process completed. So all these things were completed. These are in sync with the aspirations of the people. So I'm happy that successive governments are taking appropriate steps in sync with the aspirations of all the people, whether it is the people of eastern part or western part. I thank the House to withdraw this resolution, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Since the mover has withdrawn his resolution, now let me put the question before the House. The question is that the mover has the leave of the House to withdraw his resolution. Those who are in favor, say aye. Those
had to get up and say that you are opposing this resolution. And I know tomorrow some people will take this small clipping and say that these MLAs are against the Garo people. They are not, sir. We should not misinterpret the position that we are in today here. The Treasury and the opposition bench, they have clearly mentioned in their speeches, including yourself, sir, that you understand the importance of this issue.
what is this? Honorable Chief Minister, it is 2 o'clock now. So in exercise of the rules 11 of the rules of procedure and conduct of business, I extend the sitting of the House till this resolution is disposed of. You may continue.
Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker, sir. As I was saying, that each of the members who participated, there was a sense of emotion in each one of them, and they expressed their heart on how they are concerned about this issue. And yet, because of the technical aspect of this resolution being brought in, they were not able to support the resolution. That does not mean that they are not understanding the reasons and the issues that are there. For the knowledge of this House, in the last 53 years, there has never been a resolution that has been brought by opposition which has been passed and accepted by the House. So it's not for the first time that it's happening. No matter how critical the issues are, based on technical facts, the ruling is not able to support the resolution. So having said that, this issue of winter capital has been something that we've been obviously concerned. Many organizations have met me. I have met almost all organizations that have approached me. Last year there was a situation where there was a hunger strike, and I appealed myself to the members of those organizations that let us start engaging and discussing. And we called them to the circuit house to discuss this matter. And they refused to come to the circuit house. After that, my team, including the officials and the police of the administration, asked me to not go. Of course, I'm sorry. Then they asked me to come to their location. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. So they said they will not come to Secretariat, but I have to go to their location where they are having the hunger strike. And I was advised by my police that I should not go. And hence, right next to the place where they were having the hunger strike, we have the CM Secretariat office there. And so we had a meeting point where, right next to that location, I called them to the CM Secretariat and had a discussion with them. I don't want to go into details of what happened before that or after that, or what transpired in the meeting that we had. But sir, that one step which I took, where against the advice of the SP, I trusted and I moved ahead. I was concerned about the issue, and to show my overall concern, in spite of being told not to go, as it was a security issue, I went, sir. And we all know what happened, but I went. So my point being that we are all concerned about this issue, number one. And number two, sir, wherever possible in the current circumstances, different steps are being taken. Sir, actions speak louder than words. We don't go around talking about different things that we want to do, except maybe during budget session. But we have acted firmly to ensure that all-round development comes to the state. Honorable Leader of Opposition mentioned in his speech that we, for the first time, started taking the cabinet to Resubel Para, sir, your constituency. We had a cabinet meeting. To Jowai, to Sora, to Tura. And the whole idea of doing this is to give a sense of belonging to the people of the state. I know some members have mentioned about the cost. So these kind of meetings and programs that we do cannot be valued in terms of the cost. Because if you start looking at that, then you're losing the meaning of taking the cabinet to the people. How happy people feel when they say, oh, the cabinet is in my town. For the first time, it's happening in our town. So that is the kind of sentiment that goes with these kind of things. And there's a reason why we're doing it. So yes, cost is there. There's no doubt about it. Cost is there. But I think the larger messaging of involving everybody, to show that every section of our society every district, every individual person is important to us. I think that is the larger messaging that we want to give. So therefore, our cabinet on the move, as we call it, will continue, sir. Will continue. In the beginning, last term, in 2018, I still have the papers with me, but we could not continue this program in the first term because of COVID. But we had started by putting ministers, cabinet ministers in charge of districts, specifically. And I made sure that the ministers from Khasi Hills would be in charge of Garo Hills, and the ministers from Garo Hills would be in charge, and Jente Hills would be in charge in different parts, wherever possible. Of course, it's not possible fully. And the idea being that we would want that minister to handhold every aspect, go to that village, go to that district, and spend time. So therefore, sir, there are a lot of actions that we have taken to convey and show the intent of this government to involve people, to ensure that we bring all-round development irrespective of the regions in our state. The integrated administrative complex, 170 crores is going to be spent for an integrated administrative complex in Tura. In the beginning, we had thought we will make it into a small office. But let me share. If you look at the design of the integrated administrative complex, there is a room for the chief minister. There are rooms for all the cabinet ministers.